Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Skyna Gaming and welcome to the first installment of this series, Skyrim Legendary Edition, How to Have the Best Start Possible, Mage Edition. But before I start guiding you, let me first explain the purpose of this series. I have played Skyrim for 7 years now with over 25 characters, and more than half of those characters have been played in Legendary mode with mods that further enhance the difficulty of it. If you follow this guide, then I will show you exactly how to have the best start you can possibly have in the game without any cheats or glitches. If you play on expert difficulty or above, you need all the slightest advantages you can get in the game, because at that point the game is extremely hard. This guide will show you exactly how to do that, including how to get a free companion, 1,500 septims or more, and the Adept's Robes of Destruction, which you cannot get anywhere else in the game but the location I will show you, all within 1 hour of the game. Well, in order for you to have the best start possible, you first need to pick the race of High Elf, because they are the most suited to play the role of the mage. Not only do they have 5 extra points in all of the arcane arts, those are Destruction, Restoration, Alteration, Conjuration, and Illusion, but they also have extra 50 points of Magicka. That puts you 5 levels ahead of any other race, and gives you a massive advantage in battle early on in the game. After all the cutscenes and introductions, you will find yourself in Helgen Keep. But before you keep on moving, I must give you some tips. First, you get the fire spell and the healing spell from the very beginning of the game, so put those to good use. If you're playing on the difficulty Adept or below, dual wield fire, as you will level it up way faster. If you are playing on the difficulty Expert or above, on the other hand, wield fire in one hand and have a sword in the other. The enemies are much tougher in those levels and have much more health, so it is pretty much inevitable that you will run out of Magicka at some point during a fight, even if you are a high elf. And the last tip I can give you is to have your enemies focus on your companion. In this case it's Hadvar. When you enter the battle, go behind Hadvar so the enemies lock onto him and you just deal damage from behind and level up your skills. Trust me guys, it is a lot easier to do that than have them focus on you. Oh wait, I almost forgot. Hoard everything. That is how you will get those 1,000 plus septims. If you collect all the items from the corpses and then later sell those to vendors, you will end up with a lot of septims. But there are exceptions though. Do not take two-handed items that are worth less than 100 septims. The weight to septim ratio is not good enough and you will earn much more money collecting lighter things. Eventually, you will make your way to the torturer's room. Kill the enemies inside the room and then go to the little table with a knapsack on it. It's not really hard to spot. Search it, take the lockpicks inside, and open the middle cage. There you will find a dead mage with the spell tome Sparks, novice robes, and an apprentice hood next to him. Equip the clothing and now you have more Magicka regeneration, plus another 20 points of Magicka. Now you should be at around 175 points of Magicka, almost twice the amount you would be if you picked any other race. Once you make it out of Helgen, keep on following the path down to Riverwood. But do not forget to activate the standing stones. The mage one, of course. This stone, in case you already didn't know, which everybody should after 7 years, lets you level up your mage skills 20% faster. When you are in Riverwood, go to the general store and sell all what you have hoarded. That should earn you around 300 to 400 septims. Then proceed to Whiterun. But instead of following the main storyline, go to the Bannered Mayor. There you will find Uthgard the Unbroken, a potential follower that you can recruit and will make the next few steps a hell of a lot easier, especially if you're playing on the higher difficulties. But first, you must win in fisticuffs against her. On the higher difficulties, this can turn out to be a pretty tough fight to win. She hits often, hard, and has a pretty decent amount of health. But if you time it just right, you can hit her between her animations and back off before her hit registers, leaving you unharmed. My tip is to just simply save during this fight. The next step requires you to go to the Bandit Hideout, White River Watch. To get there, you must start by going out of the city and going onto the main road. Turn left and go past the Honeybrew Meadery and the bridge. Follow the road until you see a small path on the right leading up a mountain. Kill the bandits and loot the chest next to the cooking pot outside, and remember guys, hoard everything. After that, enter the cave and kill all the bandits. Quick, interesting, but useless fact. If you look at Ulfr the Blind's book, the first bandit you encounter when you enter the cave, his book is actually blank because he is blind. Anyway, eventually you will get to the summit of this cave where the bandit leader is stationed. The best way to approach this is actually by asking Ulfgar to do something for you, and tell her to kill the bandit. That way, he locks onto her right away, leaving you to worry about less. But if this fails, then you just go on the rocks and stand there, resulting in the bandit leader using his bow, which is easier to avoid and deals less damage. After you kill him, loot the chest and his body, you should get his gauntlets, which cost quite a bit and spawn in every world. As a mage, you really have no use for them since they are heavy armor and are enchanted for two-handed weapons. You have two options. You can either disenchant them to level up your enchanting skill, or sell them, which is the better option because for the last step of this guide, you will need 500 gold to get the best item for the start of the game. Now head back to Whiterun and sell all the items you just hoarded. If at this point you have over 1,000 gold or close to it, then follow this next step. If you don't, just skip it. Head to Dragon's Reach, specifically Farengar's Secret Fire, the Court Wizard, and buy the Frost spell. Now you wield all the elements in Skyrim: Fire, Frost, and Shock. Each of these have a second attribute that makes each spell effective in different situations. For example, Fire has an afterburn effect, so if the target has a lot of health, then fire small bits and let the afterburn do the damage, conserving a lot of magicka. Frost does damage to health and stamina, proving effective against warrior-type enemies by depleting their power attack pool, or stamina, and slowing them down, giving you more maneuverability over them. And Shock does damage to health and magicka, making these type of spells effective against mages by depleting their magicka and making them basically practice dummies on the battlefield. And finally, we have reached the last step that you need to take to be ready for adventures as a mage on Legendary mode. First, you need to head to Riften, to the Bee and Barb. Inside, a very interesting mage mercenary will be sitting by the name of Mercurio. This is what you needed the 500 septims for, to hire him, and then kill him. Usually, adept robes would cost around 2,000 septims. Not only you are getting these robes for a very hefty discount, but you can't even get them anywhere else in the game so early. On top, you will not get a bounty since the mercenary is considered your property after you hire him. And if you wait about a day or so, a courier will arrive with an inheritance letter giving you another 100 to 300 septims. If you ask me, that's not a bad deal at all. Well, that's it for the guide, but you're probably wondering, if this is it, then why are there still a few extra minutes in the video? Well, because there's actually more. If you want to earn a little bit more septims, specifically 1,300 or more septims, then you must raid 2 more bandit hives. The first hive is called Embershard Mine. To locate the mine, start from the Standing Stones heading towards Riverwood on the main road until you see a small path on the right. Follow that and you found the mine. This hive should earn you 300 to 600 septims. The second location is Fort Greymoor. To get there, start from Whiterun main road, but this time turn right, going past the Western Watchtower and the abandoned wooden shack. A little bit down the road you should find the fort, but I must warn you, this is the hardest location out of all the 3 locations I've shown you today, but the rewards are also the best. If you clear out this fort completely and sell everything to the merchants, then you should have 1,000 or more septims, making you a pretty rich fellow for the beginning of the game. And that is the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video, then click the like button. If you want to see more, then subscribe and comment which playstyle should I cover next. Before you leave, if you are an aspiring streamer and you want to make your streams look professional and appealing, then click the link in the description below. I show you exactly how to do that and make your streams look professional and appealing to the audience. And if you want to hang out with me more, then you should join my Subnautica live streams. Come on guys, I had to self-advertise at some point in the video. With that said though, I hope you ladies and gentlemen have a great day or night, and as always, I'll see you next video.